All right, joining us now is Nhlamulo Ndhlela, the MK Party spokesperson. Nhlamulo, very good afternoon to you and thank you so much for your time. So, as stated, we are expecting that in less than 24 hours, the commission is set to get underway, with the first witness being the KZN Police Commissioner Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. Now, your party claims that this is a hasty midweek start and it's a deliberate tactic aimed at prejudicing your party.
Yes, indeed. Good afternoon to yourself and good afternoon to your viewers. We've, as you are now aware, that after the president made an announcement in earlier to mid-July that he would be appointing, firstly putting Senzo Mchunu on leave of absence, and then what he would then do is he was then going to appoint Kachalia as an acting minister. And off the back of that, he then made the announcement that he was going to establish a Judicial Commission of Inquiry. Now, we found that to be unconstitutional and irregular and invalid, in a sense that that led us to take it to the Constitutional Court, which found that the issue of jurisdiction, in effect, led to them now striking it off the roll and saying that we should go to the High Court, which is where we're at. Now, we went there and we're going there on an urgent basis. Here's the issue that we have. Firstly, we have stated categorically that there is no need for a Judicial Commission of Inquiry. If you review the allegations made by General Mkhwanazi, he states there that the judiciary itself is complicit and implicated. So you cannot have a situation where you're going to have a judge presiding over, his peers. How do we know that Madlanga himself is not the one that's investigating himself? So that alone, from the optics, is not something that we believe, brings about any level of trust, public trust in that case. Then we go further to raise the issue of saying that, we have, as South Africans, been subjected to allocate 147 million rand towards this commission. That's not going to be making any recommendations that are binding in any way or form. Whereas you have an ad hoc committee in Parliament that is responsible to ensure oversight on departments and matters such as these. So we're saying that the same Judicial Commission of Inquiry that was supposed to start on the 1st of September, now for it to be moved when our date for the court case on the 18th and 19th was already announced long and prior to this, for then the Judicial Commission of Inquiry Organizing Committee to then choose the 17th, at least hours, and just on the brink of the actual hearing that will determine whether they should exist or not, is quite honestly and optically incorrect and concerning. We're saying that they should have held off and said, well, let's allow the court process to unfold and ensue. Let's see what the outcome thereof is. And then, off the back of what the outcome of the court is, take it forward. But instead, they chose a date just on the brink of before a full sitting of 3 judges, a full bench. So if you look at it, what does that mean? It prejudices the South African purse and the South African public in a sense that, if you're going to look at that, you're going to have at least 2 to 3 senior counsels. You're going to have the witnesses themselves coming with, senior counsel, bringing advocates. The cost factors are astronomically high. You're looking at least a minimum of about approximately R1 million a day that would be spent of public money, on a process that quite honestly we still believe is illegitimate until pending the outcome of a court case. We believe that this is unnecessarily rushed. Why the rush? There is nothing wrong with them waiting until the outcomes of this court. And that's where we're coming in as Mkhonto Wesizwe. The 3 things that we sought relief from is, firstly, we're saying that the announcement by the president to appoint Kachalia in an acting capacity must be reversed, including the fact that he put Mchunu as minister in the leave of absence must also be reversed. The issue of him appointing or announcing the Commission of Inquiry must also be reversed. And then obviously off the back of that, ensure that he does the right thing and fire Mchunu, which is what he should have done in the first place. Otherwise, wouldn't be in this situation had he just fired Mchunu and appointed Kachalia, we wouldn't be sitting in a situation where 2 ministers presiding over police.
So you believe this process is pointless and is a duplication of the ad hoc committee that's sat in Parliament. But you're also quite confident that the courts will declare these actions invalid, irrational and unconstitutional on both the 18th and 19th. Do you think then it would make a difference with the commission having started a day before?
No, absolutely. I mean, hence I've just said that, I mean, why incur the costs? I mean, here's another thing. For Madlanga to then choose the 17th, hours before the full sitting of 3 judges in the full bench to preside over this matter, is there something that he knows that we don't know? Is he that confident that the outcomes of this process will yield to a judgment that's in favor of him or this commission continuing? I mean, we just hope our imagination is not a reality here. And because that alone is suspicious of the back of also your question that, you're right. What would be the outcome and it's going to prejudice South Africans just off the back of what I just said. The cost factors on the public purse are totally unnecessary. It's unnecessary for him to initiate this and to start this commission prior to the outcomes of a full sitting of 3 judges and a full bench, which will be presided over a couple of hours after the date that he has chosen, which is the 18th and the 19th. And then, off the back of that outcome, we can make a determination, or he can make a determination as to whether he should continue or not. But we still stand. There is no need for a judicial commission of inquiry. Let the police do their work. They've been doing a great job. Let them arrest those that are implicated, and we take it from there. From an oversight perspective, in terms of the operations of police and what's happening within the police, it is Parliament's responsibility. We do not need judicial sovereignty in this country, which is what we're starting to see, where the judiciary is starting to usurp powers from Parliament. Every single time parliamentarians and lawmakers take a decision, it is taken to the Constitutional Court, and you know what? It is blocked there. A good example, Section 89 of the independent panel by Justice Ngcobo found that the president, in this case, had transgressed PRECA and that there was a case to be heard. Where is it sitting? In the Constitutional Court. Has he had his day in court? No. So that's what's happening. The Constitutional Court and the judiciary is being used as a platform to usurp powers from Parliament and therefore usurp and rob the will of the people.
And should the court not find in favor of the MK party, what's your next step?
Well, we'll make that determination upon the review of why they believe that this matter should not go our way and that South Africans ought to be saved costs of this political laundromat called a Judicial Commission of Inquiry.
All right, that's Nhlamulo Ndhlela. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. That's the MK spokesperson speaking to us there about the party seeking an urgent order at the Gauteng High Court in Pretoria before the Madlanga Commission takes place tomorrow.